So what do you think of people that are like from the younger generation? This is kind of a funny question because it's that typical, what do you think of like millennials? But what do you think of millennials?
I think that, first I'll say, they're really, really smart. They have a lot more capability than my generation. I think that their sentiment is really sweet and on point, and their sentiment of like let's all be more sensitive and more caring is a great concept on paper, and I'm impressed that has caught on, because certainly growing up for me, like the idea of if somebody walked around and be like, let's be more caring, that was never
thrown at them.
Yeah, that was never taken seriously.
Yeah. Wait, in what era is this that you're talking about?
I mean, for me, like when I was growing up, like
this is the 90s.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s, and like, well, by 91 I was 18, so
okay.
The 80s, and I think that it used to be, they would call those people hippies.
Yeah.
Back then, and be like, oh, peace and love, man, or whatever. And I think that I'm really impressed that has caught on. But with that said, you know, it's definitely gone overboard.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Do you think that since it's gone, I mean, like overboard, meaning it's just now it's like too caring and too sensitive and too, I mean, that's what that's the thing that everybody says now is, oh my God, millennials are so sensitive. But I feel like there's more depth to it than just them being sensitive. I think what it might be is just I mean, I'm part of this too. You know, I'm also a millennial, so I think our generation really has seen the worst of the worst, meaning like we have social media, which allows us to see all
World War II.
Wait, what?
World War II.
I mean, I guess that's a good point. World War II.
Holocaust. Pretty bad. Holocaust, someone getting canceled on Twitter. Let's see.
This isn't a competition. This isn't a competition.
Well, I wasn't around during the Holocaust.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, you know, okay, you've seen the worst of the worst.
No, I'm not saying we've seen the worst of the worst. I'm saying that back then, okay, sure, those are huge events. World War II was a huge event.
Right.
Holocaust, huge event.
Right.
Huge.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, on the news. It was publicized. But now you get a bunch of small things every day. There was a school shooting that 17 kids got killed, or there was or you see what's going on with Trump in office, like every day, like all this stuff, all this news every day, and as soon as it happens, it's out. It's not like they take time to like how do we phrase it? It's like it's out. And I think because that's how the world is, it's full of a lot of, you know, pain and suffering and all this stuff, and we've known that. But are you texting? I think because we get flooded with all this chaos and all this darkness of the world every day, that we're trying very hard to make things at least better socially, because you know what I mean? Like it's like we get too much of that, so now everybody is sensitive because it is too much information to deal with.
Well, you said something to me a long time ago, which was really interesting, that you thought that the internet was causing like a lot of the problems in the world, like, you know, people using violence, and the internet's like making people crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm not saying that this is making people are becoming more sensitive, more caring, but it's also, like you said, it's getting to this tipping point of like, okay, now are we allowed to say anything? That's now getting, like you said, over the line. That's like becoming, there's too much of it. There's not that balance.
This professor that I saw, he explained it so well in this YouTube video. Oh my God, there's a tractor trailer like turning around.
Why is there
that jackknifed?
Wait.
Oh my God, that's why we're not going anywhere.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay, well, once we pass that,
everyone's
things should be
okay.
fine. Yeah.
I don't want to offend anybody, and alarm or trigger anybody. Everyone's fine.
Isn't that so funny that when you see an accident, you're just like, oh, thank God we can pass it so we can keep on going with our day. We're not worried about any casualties. We're not worried about them. We're just like, thank God we can move past these. Thanks for getting into an accident, assholes.
I lost my train of thought.
You were saying that there was this professor.
Oh, there was this professor, and he was debating somebody, and he did a really good job, which was like, he basically was saying these ideas that you're talking about, saying edgy things, and he said, and the woman was like, well, I'm offended at what you're saying, and he was saying, well, you've offended me by taking my right to say anything, and in order for me to like move forward, I need free expression and free thought to say things, because if not, then you've taken that away from me. I'm not really explaining it right, but
I think I've seen this clip.
Do you know Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
maybe you can explain it better.
I think he was on a talk show with a woman.
With a woman, yeah.
And she was saying what you're saying is offending me, and it's like, how does that make you feel? He's like, well, I mean, how does it make me feel that you've brought me on television and you are attacking me and not letting me say the things that I want to say?
Right.
And so like,
why is your thing more important than what I have to say?
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah. Why is your offense more important than my offense? Which is, and I am offended that you're like that you're putting me on blast here. So you have no problem offending me.
That's what it was.
He said,
yes.
You have no problem offending me.
Yeah, you have no problem offending me. And I was like, and she
didn't know what to say.
She went like this. She went, and this is honest to God what she did. She went, oh, yeah. I mean, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
He totally like turned her opinion. And the other thing I always think about too is like that there's like a lot more anxiety amongst kids and stuff now.
Yeah.
And that's definitely social media, because
oh yeah, for sure.
There was just not that much anxiety growing up from kids.
Maybe
I don't think there was. I really don't.
Really? You think maybe there was, and that nobody talked about it, because if you talked about it, then it was like, oh, just shut up, sissy.
Maybe.
That's what I think. Maybe. It's always been. I think it's been exacerbated by social media now.
I guess it's hard to say. It's hard to say if there was more then, or it feels like there's more now.
I mean, dude, that's like back in the day, you couldn't be saying you were depressed was like they would throw you in a loony bin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
They'd be like, oh, you're one of the crazies. Let's throw you in here. And like now, depression's such a normal thing because we've realized, okay, this is a normal thing that a lot of people go through.
But I've been out so many nights and out doing our work or whatever we do, and I'll see somebody the next day and they're like, yo, dude, that looked like so much fun. You guys were like having and I'll be like, oh no, it was the worst.
Yeah.
We were having the worst time.
Yeah.
You caught 10 seconds of
of us having fun.
That was something that was fun. Or possibly even rehearsed a couple times to make look really funny, because it's a little sketch. It's a little 10-second sketch.
Yeah. So you're saying that it's like a lot of fake people. I mean, a lot of people doing things that look fun but are fake, and then that's making the people that aren't at that place feel shitty.
Yeah, FOMO.
That's just FOMO.
It makes you feel horrible.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, dude, I missed that party. Oh, dude, my life sucks. Look at how much fun they're having.
Yeah.
And I just think that's crazy, and I just think that's really interesting. I don't know.
If I'm being completely honest, I think that is what social media and YouTube celebrities thrive on, is that like, look at us, look at this great lifestyle that we have, all this money, all this shopping, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think people watch it because it's like they're living their lives through theirs.
Yeah.
And it gives them this sense of like, oh, like I want to have that, or I want that, or I wish I was there. And
but stuff does make people happy. It doesn't make me happy. Like if I go out in a video and I buy something for the video and I give it to somebody, like a bag.
Yeah.
Like I bought Trisha a bag, and it made her really happy. But like for me, like stuff doesn't make me happy at all. So I'm always torn about like in the videos where it's like, well, we're doing this. We're going to Vegas, and it's like,
but you don't want to do shit like that.
I don't care. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I don't want Gucci shoes.
Yeah.
I don't really care. They're nice. I mean, sometimes I would see something at Gucci like, oh, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the need to like.
It's a short-lived thrill.
Yeah.
Because you buy it and it's like, I have this now.
Yeah, exactly. I got some flip-flops that Trisha bought me from Gucci. They were like $200.
Yeah.
And they cut into my feet all vacation.
Yeah.
I was like, this aren't so great.
It's like a drug. You get a really quick rush. And it's not only that, it's what I've found when I buy shit is that, like just now we were talking about how I want to get a new phone.
Right.
Because my old phone's like, it's the older model and it's got a defunct mic, so it's like broken. And you get this rush. It's like, oh, I'm gonna buy this new thing. I can't wait to buy this new thing. I'm gonna spend money. I'm gonna get myself something nice. Like, and then you get it, and then you're like, why did I buy this? That's what I am. I'm like,
yeah,
there's
always.
no point in me buying this.
I just got the Max and
the iPhone Max.
Yeah, and it's like it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same as the 8, as 7, as pretty much the 6.
And that happens. It's the same exact thing, and it sucks because I wish I could buy stuff and it could make me like long-term happy. It can be something that lasts, but it just doesn't. I don't know why either.
Yeah, well, you value like your ideas and your creativity more than you. It's just all where you draw your happiness from. Some people like stuff.
I don't know. I guess, but I'm like, do they really like stuff, or are they just pretending because they bought the stuff and they want to feel like they get their money's worth, so they have to pretend like they like it?
No.
You think it's genuine, they like the stuff?
Yeah, people love stuff.
Man, okay.
They love it. It makes them happy. New clothes, new everything, new couch,
new technology,
new cars.
Yeah, just buying stuff.
I mean, just to go back to your original question, I think that I'm all for like changing the way I think, and I'm like all for it. Like, yeah, and I think like when comedians like get on stage, like I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to like temper. I don't know. I shouldn't even speak on this because it's certainly case by case. But I guess I can only speak for myself. Where I'm like, all right, I'll try to like not make this joke about someone else or make it about myself, or I will try to do that.
Well, but I don't know, man. Part of me thinks that if we're just going to comedy now,
right?
I just feel like most comedy comes from some misery. It all does. There's never been a joke
True.
that that I think anyone's ever laughed at where there's not some misery involved. Like, even look at like Tom and Jerry, like when we were kids, like that whole reason that's funny is because Tom keeps getting hoodwinked and like, he keeps getting hurt by this mouse, and there's pain involved there. It's like classic, like there's pain,
right?
And it's like that's why we laugh, is because he's an idiot who gets hurt, and we laugh at him. And when you make like when we all crack jokes with each other, like when it's always deprecating, it's always making fun of each other. Yeah, it's making fun of a flaw or whatever it is. Yeah, and we all laugh because it's funny to make fun of things. It's funny to just like, it's like pointing out something that everyone's thinking. You know what I mean? But you're not supposed to say it, but you say it, and then that makes it funny. And so what I'm saying is that, like, if you completely strip away the misery, there's no joke, there's no comedy, there's nothing.
Right.
It's just this, like,
it's saccharine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
well, there's three levels to it. There's 3 areas of comedy, or there's 3 arenas. There's hanging out with your friends, funny. There's the internet, and then there's like stand-up. Yeah. You know what I mean? And those are all 3 different things. Like, don't confuse stand-up with in the internet. Like a comedy club in the internet. It's just different.
Well, I was just saying jokes in general that make people laugh, and when I was saying hanging out, like that's what we're doing, is cracking jokes with people we know. Right.
But you can't film a lot of those jokes.
I guess, but
I mean, like, if you were to sit there and make fun of someone's weight.
Oh, but sure.
Be totally, if we're being totally honest and totally real, like, there are, you know, weight jokes made about me, but they won't go in the video.
Really?
Yeah, because people will get really sensitive about it. But I think it's hilarious. I can't stop eating, Brandon, and it goes to your point. Like, it's misery. Like, I'm on an endless cycle of stuffing my face and feeling bad about myself. And you're right. That, to me, is hilarious, and I can laugh at that. And then with the internet, you're allowed to voice your opinion, and then that builds like, oh yeah, they shouldn't be making fun of this. They shouldn't. And then you've got all these comments like
a snowball effect.
All of a sudden, Jason, you know, is insensitive to overweight people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I kind of think of myself as I'm 221 pounds. I've gained 40 pounds in the last 2 years.
Yeah, but then that makes you but then they'll say, oh, he's just making fun of his own weight to fit in or something. And it's like, no.
Right.
That's not what's happening. It's just funny. Like when I used to be 200 pounds, 5'5" when I was like 15 years old.
Right, I've seen pictures.
People made fun of me all the time, and I didn't care. I just did not care. I found it funny.
Right.
And it's just like, and yeah, sure, I lost the weight, but I didn't lose the weight because everyone was telling me, like, making fun of me. I just lost the weight because I was like, I want to lose the weight. That was all it was. Right. It was just my own personal choice.
It's also a release. Some people find it a release. Like last night, someone got up to leave.
Yeah.
And I got up to give them a hug.
Yeah.
And I was too large or old or something that when I went to get up, I couldn't get up, and I literally missed the hug.
Yeah.
They had already walked out of the room, and everybody was just dying laughing, and then someone got up and like I didn't even realize they did it, but someone got up and like acted it out and redid exactly what happened, and we were all dying, and it was like it was a release to me. Like it was like, it felt good to be like, oh, like I wasn't quick enough, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's making. This is another thing too. Literally saying you can't make fun of that. You can't make fun of something serious. Oh, really? You can't make fun of something. You're making fun of something.
Right.
You're making something that is serious fun, and you're, like you said, just completely depleting tension from something that is like you falling or you not being able to get up. Like, that's kind of like, if no one laughed, that'd be kind of like awkward, and like really like everyone would be like,
Right.
But it's just, as soon as you laugh, you're making fun of this thing that is by nature and like standard, it's not fun. But that's what you're doing. So when people say you shouldn't make fun of anything, so everything has to be just like bleh? Like you can't make fun of something? You can't have fun and alleviate serious things with
break the tension.
Yeah, breaking tension. It's like, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that what you said about the release is like, sometimes it is therapeutic for people, like, to make jokes about really messed up things.
You also have to be careful too, like in terms of like on the internet, like somebody who's like, I don't know, 15 or 16, like they haven't fully formed their opinion about it.
They're being informed by other opinions.
They're being informed, and they're learning, and they're hearing like, oh well, yeah, that you can't make that joke. But maybe by the time they're like, you know, older, they'll have a mature, you know, opinion about it, where they'll be like, oh yeah, well I guess that's a joke, and they'll understand it more. But maybe right now they're not. But we see it as like, oh my God, this person is taking me down, but maybe they're not a fully formed adult yet.
And and the thing is too, is that they're in their minds, by being offended by this thing or whatever, they're doing something good in their head, because it's like, oh, like, yeah, you shouldn't make fun of people and everything. Everybody should be happy and all this stuff. They think they're doing something.
Yep, they do.
Good.
It comes from a good place. They're trying on that personality of the do-gooder and spreading it, which is fine. You know, which is great. They should do that.
Yeah, I guess that's where it becomes Stickies, because I know that you're saying it's coming from a good place. You know it has good intentions behind it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're being a drag.
Bro, you're being a drag right now.
You are. It's like you're being a bummer. Like you can't. It's just like, come on, just fucking this whole thing, this whole life thing. It's all pretty painful for the most part. Can you not just let me have a release? No, everything's got to be completely serious, and I can't have any fun. I can't. And it sucks too, because when I say fun, that's such a widespread term. But what I'm
Right.
saying is that like what we're saying, like that's a perfect example. But what happened with you is, if somebody was in the room, we all started laughing at you, which is what happened. That one person who's like gets really upset by everybody would be like, oh, you shouldn't laugh at him. It's like, dude, come on.
But we don't hang out with people like that.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you put somebody like that in that scenario, and they'd be like, oh god. And that's the thing, is that like, do people like that? Are they social, or is it all just like this giant, I don't know, like feedback loop of Twitter, somebody got offended, I'm offended.
Well, online is a completely different person than in real life.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about like kids who don't really socialize anymore, they're just like sucked it like in the singularity almost.
No, they socialize, and they probably, get beaten up pretty bad.
I guess. And I'm also there's also something I'm not talking about, which is a lot of people can be just cruel without, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are just bad and cruel and say shit just to hurt people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, there are those people out there that actually, and they fuck it up for everybody else. That's the thing that sucks, is that they're fucking it up for everyone.
I think it's interesting that I feel like the generation behind you, I feel as if every generation tries to rebel and change the culture. So like in the 60s and 70s, they were really fighting for, freedom and a free society and equal rights and all that stuff. And I feel like this generation is fighting for change. But I think what might happen is the next generation might be like, oh, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's go back to...
Kind of like in the 80s with the punk revolution, where it was like they were fighting against that.
Well, they were fighting against republicanism and Reagan and greed. But yeah,
they're fighting against the man.
Everybody has a voice, so if you say something, it's just changed. You're gonna catch heat for it. It's just the way it is.
I don't know.
But I don't mind it. I mean, I'm not like losing sleep over it.
I'm not either, but
it's just adapting. You always have to adapt in life. You have to adapt, and you have to keep moving. It's no different than like if you're like a caveman and you're out and there's a pack of animals chasing you.
I refuse to be the older person
who is stuck and says, "But it was better before." Well, too bad. It's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone, and you're not gonna bring it back. I don't want to be that person. I always want to change and adapt, and I think that's okay. I don't feel like I don't know.
Well, I don't think that like I said, I don't think what's happening is inherently bad. I just think that it is a little limiting. It just feels like I don't know, like even when you're talking to people in real life, you're censoring certain things that you say, and that happens naturally anyways. But what I'm saying is now it's even more so, I think, to where even things that that aren't inherently like offensive, you're like, oh wait, are they gonna take it the wrong way? Am I gonna say this and it's gonna hurt them, even though I know that that's not my intention when I say this that way? You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy, and it's like I feel like everybody should know when you meet somebody if they are a good intentioned person or not. I think you should give people the benefit of the doubt and know that not everybody is a horrible, ill-intentioned, racist, asshole, misogynistic. Not every person is like that. And the people who aren't like that, who say the wrong thing one time, maybe, I don't even know what I'm saying.
I think what you're saying is like there's people that you meet them and they have a predisposed opinion. Let's say they've been hurt by, let's say there's a guy, and the guy has been hurt by women,
sure,
a lot.
Yeah.
Let's say his mother wasn't so great. his girlfriends weren't so great. So he goes into the conversation and he's kind of already maybe dismissive of the women, or let's say it's the other way. Let's say it's a woman who had a bad dad and bad boyfriends, and you walk into the conversation and she sees you and she's like, "Huh, look at this guy, Mr. White guy." Well, in reality, you're Mexican half, and Mr. Well, he dresses nice and he thinks he's smarter than everyone. Probably went to college and thinks he's better. You didn't go to college, and so yeah, there's a lot of people that have been hurt out there, and then they come in with baggage. But whenever I see people like that, I'm like, well, who hurt you?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't. And for the most part, I feel like people do give you the benefit of the doubt. Look, I'm a 45-year-old guy who spends most of his time with 20-year-olds, and I feel awkward all the time, but for the most part, people are like really, really nice about it. I mean, really, really nice about it.
When you leave, they go, "Oh, that old piece of shit. That old piece of shit. God, he's probably a racist asshole. We just hate him. Why do we keep inviting him?"
Yeah. I mean, all old people are racist.
It's truth.
I mean, if you, whatever your standards are.
Yeah. I just think that if you keep calling everyone racist, keep calling everyone evil, keep calling every person this, if they say something slightly wrong, you're lessening the people that actually are the people that we should be. You're making the enemy widespread when it doesn't need to be. There is a very clear enemy, you know what I mean? People that are actually bad.
No,
you know what I mean?
They don't know if you're bad or not. They could go to your Twitter and not get it and be like, "Wow, Brandon Calvillo is a huge dick."
I mean, yeah, I guess they wouldn't be wrong.
But we know you that you're not. We know that you're actually really kind. Or if you, I've seen you go after people on Twitter, and some people don't understand it's a joke, and they get hurt by it, and it's.
So you think millennials are pussies? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're getting at?
I never said that.
I feel like that's what you were trying to say.
No, I said the opposite. I
felt like everything you just said was a microaggression towards me. And you should apologize.
Well, I called Brandon a chatterbox earlier, and then he tweeted Jason Nash's over party. Yep,
I wonder if that's trending. Let me see if that's trending. It's number 1. Holy fuck. Crazy.
Did it hit the favorites? What's it called?
Yeah, dude, Obama just chimed in. He said, "OMG, we have to get rid of this monster." Anyways.
I stopped kayaking in Hawaii to tweet this.
All right. You want to get tacos?
Tacos. Taco Bell.
Del Taco.